like the aerobatic competition, and airshow performances like the one MXS. Welcome to our 2013 Celebrate Freedom Tour. Welcome to our 2013 Celebrate Freedom Tour. You saw a good friend, Mr. Shawnee, back to the intro says, you saw a good friend, Mr. Shawnee, playing drivers in all planet. Pull this off and hit type of playing drivers in all planet. Pull this off and hit type of thing. He's a full-time coach over there in Long Island. We're talking about it. Come around twice. He had to push forward on this. He's a full-time gyroscopic forces to bring that right through. Come around twice. He had to push forward on one. Use those gyroscopic forces to bring that airplane through. Here at the Beth Plains Air Show 2013. We go to that United States National Aerobatic Champion. And also the World Freestyle. We go to that competition. It's not about totals. It's about precision points between snap rolls. Freestyle live racing streams competitions. It's not about totals. It's about precision points between snap rolls and hitting those live racing streams. Yes, I want to test every single one of my friends. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here's time for the crowd. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here's time for the crowd. Strong winds out in front here. Rob's going to pull up now. The crowd favorite, there it is. He's going. The Skyliner full right runner coming up there. He's holding strong winds out in front here. Rob's going to pull up now. The favorite's having a great time here. The Skyliner going to get that one. He's holding up there today. And oh, he's having a great time here in Long Island. This time to put a torque roll at the end of that one. Standing on the rudder, sliding sideways across the beachfront here. Keep a close eye on him. I don't think he's done quite yet. Go down, working him out. Oh, big pull right there. Let them come over there. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you think of this national champion? Ron Holland so far. Keep a close eye on him. I don't think he's done quite yet. Go down, working him out. Climbs back up. Tell you about our primary partner for this week. It's national champion. Ron Holland watch when you're into Indy. Hey, Ron Holland, how are you? I am doing fantastic. Climbs back up. I'll tell you about our primary partner for this week. It's Reactor Watches. If you're looking for a sports watch when you're into Indy. Hey, Ron Holland, how are you? I am doing fantastic. Your show. Hey, folks, Memorial Day. I'd like to ask all of you to do me a favor. I gave you a note there, and a woman in uniform, and everyone. Please walk up to them, look them in the eyes, shake their hands, and say thank you. You know, their service, their sacrifice, their bravery, dedication. I'd like to dedicate this heart. And everyone, there's lots of kids out here on the beach today. Singing Just For You. Reactor Watches MXS. There's lots of kids out here on the beach today. Those little girls singing Just For You. We call it the Frisbee. Everyone's playing watch right now. Rob just set up, puts it into a half all the way around. going to hang in his pocket because he actually watches that excess. The Catalina, as you see it coming across Show Center now, is a flying boat able to land on the water. Was used extensively for search and rescue operations in the Pacific Theater. As we see the C-47 turn away from us, you see the stripes on the wings of the fuselage. Those were known as invasion stripes. And it was on June 6, 1944, when the Allies invaded German-held Normandy, France, that stripes were painted on all Allied aircraft so our guys on the ground and our guys in the air would not inadvertently shoot down one of our own aircraft. Coming in from the left, the B-17 Flying Fortress. 12,000 of these were built. They carried a bomb load typically of about 5,000 pounds, and it took 10 men to fly and defend as they do a watermelon drop. There you go, dropping the watermelons. You can see the water turn red as they hit. There was a pilot, a co-pilot, a radio operator. It's the Trojan, the T-28, built by North American Aviation as a transition trainer from piston engine aircraft to become, for pilots who would then become jet pilots in the beginning of the jet age. It's very difficult to hear the sound of the radial engines, and that sound becomes more and more rare. All of these aircraft can be seen on the ground and in the air back at Republic Airport this weekend. As I started to tell you earlier, the 13-foot in diameter propeller was from the engine, but it made it a challenge for aircraft. Oh, here's some more drops. I love seeing that. The bent wing bird, it was a challenge for the designers to build that brought from the fuselage at 90 degrees, they brought the wing down 90 degrees, bent the wing down, and then extended the landing gear from the lowest spot on the wing and then bent the wing back up, hence the nickname bent wing bird. It was known by the Japanese in the Pacific as whistling death. Initially, as I mentioned, designed for use on aircraft carriers, the Vought Corsair was difficult to land, and so it was relegated to land units. It was difficult to land on the carrier, so it was relegated to land units in the Pacific. And the Black Sheep Squadron, Pappy Boyington, Greg Boyington, who had 28 aerial victories to his credit, had a 12,571 Corsairs were built. And it was the British who took some Corsairs. They made some modifications. They changed the canopy from a greenhouse canopy to what was known as a Malcolm hood, a bubbled canopy, raised the pilot up, and took advantage of the bent wing to fly an oval approach to the carrier. And by 1944, the Corsair was back operating aboard carriers again, providing great power to the fleet. The B-17 and its 10 crewmen was often stationed and worked a great deal of the time out of bases in England. And literally hundreds of B-17 bombers would take off from bases in England, cross the English Channel, and bomb targets in Germany. The B-17s and the B-24s were known. In front of us here at Show Center right now, the C-47 Gooneyberg. The Navy called it the Dakota. or the Sky Train. It was also named that. It was used as a troop carrier. It could carry airborne paratroopers, about 30 of them. And they would fly over the battlefield, and in a matter of just less than a minute, all 30 guys would be out wearing combat packs equal to their own body weight, towing troop gliders. And later on, they were actually used as armed aircraft in the Korean War. They put cannons in the side, and the pilot would circle around a target with a special sight in his left window, and they were able to direct fire from high-powered guns out the left side of the aircraft, and they called it the Spooky Gunship. Here comes the Yankee Lady, the B-17 once again, all the way from Belleville, Michigan, outside of Detroit, and the Yankee Air Museum. One of only about 13 flyable B-17s anywhere in the world. And they built, these other companies built the Corsair under license, which meant that in this case Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company and also Brewster Aviation got the plans, got the tooling, and set up production lines to build Corsairs in other places. And Goodyear, Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company in Akron, Ohio built them. They also set up a production line in California. F1G Corsair and the F3 Corsair with the first two. Ladies and gentlemen, nice round of applause for Dan Damio. Well, we're about ready to bring John Clatt in to our show right now, so I want you to keep your eye on the sky. John Clatt representing the Air National Guard, and it's my pleasure to welcome back to the stage my buddy Tim Jarvis is going to tell you all about John Clatt. How are you, my friend? Is he ready to fly, buddy?
Yeah, we are ready. Hi to your right, Lieutenant Colonel John Clatt. Please help welcome him. Welcome John back to the stage. He's getting set now. Here we go. Lieutenant, go protect. Go Air Guard. Driving skyward now, 8 times the force of gravity, pushing John back into the seat on the vertical line. Watch closely. John runs out of forward airspeed and energy. At the top of the maneuver, John rolling it over onto its back. Now watch closely. From the inverted flat spin position, John will chop the power transition from the inverted back into the upright flat spin. Now continue that spin down at over 160 miles an hour. Into the knife edge spin before kicking a little opposite rudder, pointing the nose down, driving back to Air Show Center. John, a member of the Air National Guard for nearly 24 years. Flying the F-16, the C-130 today. MXS. During John's full performance here this afternoon, John will be experiencing up to 10 positive Gs and nearly 7 negative Gs. Correcting for the wind, driving back to Air Show Center, the MXS with a top speed of nearly 300 miles an hour. Now watch closely at the top. John will roll wings level and push forward on the stick. And the outside negative push. Now still rolling his way around. Here it comes nearly 7 times. The force of gravity trying to throw John outside of the cockpit of the MXS. John continue that push all the way around here, show left. Working his way back up over the top, pointing the nose into the wind. Demonstrating the roll rate of nearly 400 degrees per second. Now right off the deck at 200 miles an hour. John, check it 90. Saw Rob Holland flying the MXS as well. This aircraft produced in North Carolina. Built entirely in composite materials. The airplane weighing in at 1,200 pounds. Level, nose up. And I want you all to count with me as John demonstrates his precision flying skills and the 8-point hesitation roll. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8. Now rolls on the way out 400 degrees per second. Before right back into the vertical, 9 times the force of gravity, pushing John back into that seat. Demonstrating the horsepower of this IO 540, that engine producing over 340 horse. Now working right off the deck. Showing you the bottom side of the International Guards MXS. John pulling back hard on the stick now, working the aircraft up over the top of the loop. At the top, he'll snap roll once, twice, 3 times around, 4 times around. Known in the aerobatic world as the quadruple avalanche. Exiting stage right now, John rolling inverted. Here comes those outside negative G's. So very uncomfortable. John's going to push it around back to the east before initiating a climb up to nearly 3,500 feet. You may ask, why does John do this? Really a number of reasons. One is simply let that light-going IO 540 cool down, and as he's doing that, John's going to tighten up his belts, make sure all the engine instruments are in the green. The local FBO in Lakeville, Minnesota, where John resides today. His wife Debbie, his daughter Leah, and son Danny. After high school, John attended the University of Minnesota in Duluth. John was introduced to the Air National Guard. Upon initial pilot completion training program, John was assigned to C-130, flying missions all across the world. Then in 1996, John had a unique opportunity. Now at Air Show Center, most recently John returned home to his wife in Lakeville, Minnesota from his 2009, his 3rd deployment over the skies of Iraq, flying the F-16 in support of
a lot more fun. You know, we talked a little bit about the flying now. You'll see some of what he's doing right now. In a wing over, an end overhead, or in a little rudder stop. Yeah. Turning that nose around. Some of these sharp maneuvers. Now we talk about the G-forces. John flying here today. 10, 12 positive G's. Now, okay, got 8 negative. Now let's talk about a G. He's standing here 1 G, 200 pounds. I'm 200 pounds. 200 pounds, 1 G. 2 G's, I would weigh then 400 pounds.
That's
3
right.
G's, 600.
That is, you're absolutely correct.
And how many G's?
10, 12. So if we say, okay, the human had 8, average of 8 pounds. Ladies and gentlemen, at Air Show Center, Lieutenant Colonel John Clatt flying the Air National Guards, MXS. Still hanging out there with. Having a whole lot of fun here this afternoon. Now talking about G's, Rob, the differences of the jets, the fast movers, the sustained G-force that these guys pull these big turns, 8, 10 G's, and the sustained these guys in the little flip-floppers, the quickness, the abruptness of the G-force is a lot higher G-force, but briefly, momentarily, versus a jet doing all those G's and sustained.
Like St. Judge, who's only a fighter pilot or only an aerobatic pilot. He's
he's got the best of both worlds going.
That's right, really the unique capability of Lieutenant Colonel John Clatt.
Now one more time from air show left. Give him a big wave as he comes by. The deck making some noise. John Clatt in the Air National Guard's MXS. Yeah, baby.
Probably not more than 15 feet off the water.
Right off the deck. Slowly climbing out. Now he'll pull the nose up and drive back to Farmdale. A special thanks to Lionel and all the folks at Shelter for their hospitality this week. All the men and women that have made this event possible here in Jones Beach for their hard work. A special thanks to Georgina and Amber and Chip from the Parks Department. And all the the sunny skies of Jones Beach. Rock Rider, always a pleasure. We invite you down to the mobile experience of the Air National Guard. Air show fans, Long Island people, so long.
Thank you very much, Tim Jarvis. Nice job, buddy. Big round of applause for John Clatt in the Air Guard MXS and Tim Jarvis.
And the Raiders are smoke on, coming inbound for you today for the Raiders Bombers maneuver. Raiders 1 and 2 pull vertical for Hammerhead as Raider 3 flies over the crowd. Now everybody put your hands together and give a big welcome to the Raiders demo team. Fort's gonna pull up for a half Cuban. Fort Raider 3, call sign Viking, is flying the CJ6, which is powered by a 285 horsepower, 9-cylinder radial engine, and is capable of positive 6 and negative 3 G. And now from the right, we got Raider, we got Duster, they're in for the formation loop. The Raiders would like to dedicate this move to our newest sponsor, FEMA. FEMA offers different health products and services. Join the revolution with FEMA and try their new, the healthiest energy drink, the Verb energy drink. You can see all FEMA has to offer at FEMA.com. That's VEEMA.com. FEMA, join the revolution.
Team is proud to have the Whalen Engineering Company as one of our sponsors. Whalen Engineering is an American corporation that designs, develops, and markets audio and visual signaling devices. This includes light bars, dash lights, strobe kits, siren boxes, and other public warning systems. The aviation division provides...
शादी में जाना है अभी पता है ना कमाल पता है ना
shit drop.